Welcome to Yoga with My Happy Body.
Hi again, and welcome to another online practice with me. Today's going to be a little bit spicy. We're turning power mode on. Get ready. We're going to start in a standing position. So come to mountain pose at the top of your mat, arms by your sides, palms face forwards, and close your eyes. And start by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and maybe out through the mouth. And use the affirmation, I am strong, I am powerful. And moving into chair pose, bend your knees and reach your arms up for the sky. Keep your legs in chair pose and fold forward, reaching your arms back. I'm going to do that 5 times, so lifting the arms up and then taking a bow and reaching the arms back. All times keeping the legs bent, but maybe as you reach the arms back, you manage to bend the legs a little bit more to get a little bit more out of those strong leg muscles of yours. With the completion of the 5th one, we'll bring the hands down to the mat and you can hop or you can step back into a plank. And plank pose, we're going to hold for about 5 breaths, shoulders shadowing the wrists, maybe a slight lift of the belly button. And then we'll lower the knees to the mat and come to 5 cat-cow press-ups. So as you arch your back into cow stretch, bend your elbows and bring your heart to the mat. And then as you press yourself back up, round your spine like a parachute opening, so you come into angry cat at the extended arm position. So we've got 5 of those, and it might be in this first round that you separate the movement of the spine to the press up. So you come into cow stretch, then bend the elbows, then you straighten the arms and come into angry cat. With the 6th one, lower the chest to the floor and stay down and come into locust pose. So for locust pose, we'll take the arms by the sides, we'll lift the chest and lift the legs, feeling the power and strength of the posterior chain, all of the muscles down the back of the body. From here, bring the hands to frame the ribs, lift to cobra pose, and then from cobra pose to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, we'll start to work into our core. So can you squeeze your right knee to tap the back of your right arm, then step back to downward dog. Bring your right knee to tap your nose, back to downward dog, and then your right knee to your opposite elbow, back to downward dog, to your nose again, downward dog, to your opposite elbow, downward dog, and then repeat on the left. So it's left to left, left to nose, left to right, left to nose, left to left, back to downward dog. Take a breath, look forward, and travel up to your hands where we'll repeat that sequence twice more. So halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold forward, and then take up chair pose. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up, inhale, exhale, bow forward and reach the arms back. This can be done relatively quickly, though not in a hurried manner. Think about building power, building strength, building energy. With the completion of the 5th one, place the hands on the mat and hop or step to plank pose. Keep your legs strong in plank pose so it feels like the backs of the knees press up towards the ceiling. We'll lower the knees to the mat and begin those cat-cow press-ups. So perhaps this time, as you come to cow stretch, you're lowering the chest, touching the heart to the mat. And as you extend the arms, you're thinking about arching the back or rounding the spine, I should say, as much as you can. That parachute opening type shape to the spine. We're aiming for 5. And then the 6th one, you lower and stay down. Bring the arms to down by your sides, palms pressing into the floor. Lift the chest and lift the legs. Locust pose. It's a real power move to strengthen our glutes, hamstrings, calves, to strengthen the erector spinae, the muscles in the back. When you're ready to come to cobra, touch the hands down to frame the ribs, touch the feet down and lift the heart. From there to downward dog, for those 5 on either side, of knee to armpit, knee to nose, knee to opposite armpit. And this time, if you want a little more of a challenge, extend the leg up between each rep. So you're reaching the leg up high and then squeezing it in towards your chest. So that's 5 on either side. And ironically, I have a dog who's got a fear of 3-legged downward dog. Whenever I do this, he has to leave the room. So if you glanced at the screen, you might have just seen Nacho exiting the room, which you might also feel like doing, but try and persevere. So we've got 5 of those on each side, and then all 4 paws on the floor. So hands to the floor, feet to the floor, and travel up to your hands, hop or step, however you want to get there. One more round of that same sequence. So let's prepare. Come to chair pose, bend the knees, lift the arms up, inhale, exhale, tummy to thighs, sweep the arms back for 5, 4, inhale, chest up, exhale, bow 3, inhale, chest, arms up, exhale, bow 2, inhale, chest, arms up, exhale, bow, and then hands to the mat, plank pose. Here we go, my friends. Breathe here, in through the nose, out through the nose. As you exhale, maybe feeling your core slightly lift. And then knees to the mat for your 5 press-ups with cat-cow to mobilize the spine. So this is a really energizing practice. Good if you're feeling lethargic after a long day, if you're short on time but you really want to get some movement in. We're trying to hit a lot of muscle groups, but especially the arms. There's a lot of focus on the arms in this practice. When you've done your 5, locust pose, lift the chest, lift the legs. If you are ready to make this a bit harder, you might lift your arms as well. And then moving from here to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, stretching one leg up high. And then from your 3-legged dog, squeezing your knee to your armpit, leg up high, knee to your nose, leg up high, knee to opposite armpit, leg up high, back to your nose, reach the leg up, and then to the same armpit, back to downward dog. Then change sides. And when you practice this, can you focus on rocking your shoulders forwards over your wrists as you squeeze your knee in, and rocking back your shoulders, moving behind your wrists as you send the leg up high. And that way you get a really good big range of movement, kind of maximizing your bang for buck there, if you like. When you've done 5 on either side, travel to the top of your mat and then stand up to mountain pose and take a few breaths. Maybe say to yourself again, I am strong, I am powerful, and I am ready. Here we go. We're going to start in chair pose again. And you can either repeat those 5 repetitions of chest to thigh, sweeping the arms back, or if you like to practice crow pose, then bring your hands to the mat, your knees to the backs of your arms, and then squeeze your heels up towards your bottom. This round, I'm going to touch my feet down and then hop back into plank. From plank pose, can you keep your knees lifted and try 5 chaturanga press-ups? If it's too much, there's a modification where you can lower down with the knees lifted and then put the knees down to press back up. After your 5, come to downward facing dog, reach your right leg up high, and then step your right foot forward. Keep your left hand down, reach your right arm up. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, reach your right arm underneath your left arm in like a thread the needle style movement. And do a few of those, again, maybe about 5 repetitions. With the completion of the 5th, keep the right arm up and then step the right leg back for side plank pose. For any of you with grumbly wrist, you might prefer to do this on your forearms. And we're headed from side plank into forearm plank. So bringing the right forearm down to the floor and then climbing down onto the left forearm as well. From forearm plank, you can either stay there or you can edge your feet forwards towards the backs of your elbows to dolphin pose. Dolphin pose is much like downward dog, only the forearms are on the floor. Your head should not be on the floor. If your head is on the floor, you're going to need to push more with your forearms to create more space between your head and the ground. After a few breaths there, centipede walk your feet all the way back and then lower onto your tummy. Back into locust pose, this time maybe reaching the arms forwards for more of a challenge. Take a breath, really reach up, and then head into downward facing dog. From downward dog, look forward, travel up to your hands, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, reach all the way up, and exhale to mountain pose and take a deep breath. Ready to supercharge that sequence up on the other side. Here we go. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Either tipping forward, reaching the arms back, or trying crow pose again. Crow pose, the feet don't have to come off. So if you're sort of teetering between, not quite there yet, you can keep your toes down, but bring your weight into your hands as much as you can. And then this time I shoot my legs back into chaturanga, but you can step back, you can travel back as before. And then we're going in for another 5 reps of press-ups here. When you've done your 5, come to downward facing dog, reach the left leg up high, then step the left foot to the left hand, reach the left arm up, inhale, exhale, thread the needle. So you're weaving your left arm out under your right arm. Let your head follow your left hand so you get a little rotation in the neck as well. We're going for about 5. With the completion of the 5th, reach your left arm up for the sky and then step your left leg back, placing your left foot on top of your right foot. For a few breaths in side plank. From side plank, we're coming to forearm plank. So you're bringing the left forearm down, then the right forearm down, aligning your hips with your shoulders, eyes towards your fingertips. You can stay here if you're feeling beastie for your core. If you want to target those shoulders a little bit more, then walk your feet forwards to dolphin pose. In dolphin pose, keep pressing your chest back towards your legs. So the shoulders at this moment in time don't come forward of the elbows. If you're in dolphin pose, we'll centipede walk the feet back into plank and then lower the hips to the mat. You can take another locust pose here, so maybe reaching the arms forwards, lifting the chest, arms and legs up as much as you can up. And then from there, an upward dog or cobra and taking a breath in child's pose. Now listen, we're nearly there. We're going to hit our core just a little bit more and then come to Shavasana. So I hope you're feeling supercharged and ready for this. From child's pose, I've come to downward dog and then hopped my feet outside of my hands for Malasana or yogi squat at the top of the mat. So you're sitting your hips down inside of your heels. And then from there, lower your bottom to the floor, ready for Navasana, boat pose. You can hold the backs of the legs if you want to. You're bringing your shins up to about parallel to the floor. And then see if you can extend your legs and lower your back down towards the ground. And then you're squeezing back up and lowering back down. Squeeze back up to Navasana. And then extend the legs and bring the lower back down to the floor, focusing on drawing the navel down toward the ground as well. So an exhale can really help with that. Lift up, you're nearly there. Navasana. And then lower back to the floor, extend the legs out, pointy toes, strong legs, hold it, hold it, hold it. One more time, lift up, Navasana. And then low boat pose, hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and relax into Shavasana. So it might feel nice to take a big stretch out the arms, stretch out the legs, but equally, maybe it feels good just to immediately be still. If you need to make any rearrangements, like grabbing a blanket or support for under your head, then please do. Take up as much space with your body as you feel you need and enjoy at least just a few moments of this well-deserved rest. Eyes closed. Little by little, let your breath regulate, let your breath return to normal. Spend as much time here as you feel you need to. Thanks so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.
Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share to keep the good content coming.